I think the Prime Minister had a recent visit there when he went to the airport last week. Of course, to get an update and before I introduce and again replay Nancy Fontaine from this morning on MO and Matt in the morning, let's listen to Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit talking about the mitigating factors and debauch. It's 1:10 in the afternoon.
The Bush project, as you can see, there's been dramatic work being done insofar as putting in place the mitigation measures as recommended by the environmental impact assessment. So if you go there inside, and I believe it's important to take you inside at some point as a media, so you can see the number of things that have been done. All of them are recommendations from experts, from professionals in the field, what you can do to mitigate against the impact. If you compare the Debauch site now to what it was 3 weeks ago, there's been a dramatic change of the thing. You don't see mud on the road anymore. You don't see mud rolling down from the site. All of those measures have been taken in place because the reality is, my dear, that there are measures you can put in place to mitigate against the impact. You understand? To reduce the impact, to lessen the impact. And all of those measures are being put in place. But the reality is, the site is important. Do you know, in the 80s, when Centra did the road from Hatton Garden to Portsmouth, they used that site for stones, you know. And before that, 916, I believe that site was also used for quarrying for another project. And if you realize, and this is why the experts are saying that the rocks there are crucial because it has a particular density and strength that we required for building some of the structures and so forth in order for us to benefit from it. And looking at the road from Hatton Garden, if you realize back in the 80s, Michel's brought 3 companies, Russian Tompkin, Nelotier, and Centra to do free roads in Dominica. And the road that lasted the longest was the one done by Centra. And we believe that is directly linked to the quality of the aggregates that were used from Debauch as on the surface of the road. That's why the road lasted longer than any other road that was built at the same time in the 80s and so forth. So let us make it happen. Let us make it happen. If you have a suggestion or idea, fine. Send it to me. A recommendation from an expert that you brought in or yourself. That's what we can do to mitigate against it. But we have to take the rocks. The rocks belong to us. The Lord give us the rocks to build homes, to build infrastructure, to create opportunities for people. We can't say import the rocks from Canada when we have the rocks right here in Dominica. And then we're gonna take the money that's supposed to stay in Dominica and send it to Canada. Canada have all their money. We need money in Dominica. And that's what we told. If the money is there, why not make use of it? Why is it okay for us to export standard aggregate to other countries, which we're doing, and not use it for ourselves? And people who say, go to the West Coast. The West Coast quarries have affected the marine life, you know. We've done a number of studies on that, and there were measures that were put in place to mitigate against that. So wherever you go in Dominica, there's going to be an impact. And so, and Debauch, basically, because we only go into Debauch because of the quality of the stone. If we could get it here inside, that'd be great. If we get it somewhere else closer, that'd be great. But that's where we have identified, based on independent evaluations and our own evaluation, that's where we have to go.
All right, so you heard the Prime Minister. That's the only place that they have to go to find these rocks. I've heard differently from the other geologists. I don't know what experts they're using, but the geologist professor that was brought in from the University of the West Indies from Jamaica and other soil scientists say that they can get the quality of rocks from other areas in Dominica. So why? The question is still, why Debauch? Let's listen to the discussion as we move forward. Nasir Fountain standing. And he says he's prepared to give up his life on this one. Standing with the people of Dominica. Nasir Fountain International Reggae Star. Listen.
We want to greet all the people of Dominica. Everyone, regardless where you are right now, we want to say have a beautiful day.
And Nacho is a reggae artist, one of Dominica's best. And today he's going to tell us why he chose to stand, why he chose to be here this morning. So we are going to just give him an opportunity to tell us all about his standing up.
Yeah, well, the situation here is we are here in the bush. Like the cameras can pick up the damages that they have been doing to our country. They're destroying the rivers. They are planning to finish up the mountains. We have foreigners here. We have CR5 Chinese company. We have the, what them call it, MMC. And everybody's aim is to destroy. God destroy, me see them a destroy, because he's not no development. It's just pure destruction. I am calling on the government of Dominica. Every one of you need to understand that this thing has to stop. We need to stop it right now. And Dominicans, you need to stand up. And you have to stand up for your country. We don't ask you to stand up for politics. We don't ask you to stand up for church. We don't ask you to stand up for anything. We're asking you to stand up for your country. It gave us water, food, air, peace, the animals of the forest and the fishes of the river. Now we're going to stand there and let people destroy it? Isn't that what we plan to do?
So those of you joining me now, this is the site that is being used to get materials for the construction of our international airport. In recent times, we have seen conferences, we have seen forums where folks are saying that they need this project to be stopped. On Thursday, we had a tour with the Prime Minister of Dominica, and he stated that this is the area that they can get the best, materials to construct the international airport. And now, Mr. Fountain, you are saying that you need this project to, to stop.
Listen to me. They can say this is the place where them get the best material. We say this is the place we have the best rivers, our water tables. All right? If we have to destroy our country to build a friggin' airport, then it's not worth it. That is my opinion. And that is the opinion of many Dominicans. May I say, right now we have Dr. Pascal standing here, my wife Helen, and we thank you guys came through. We need to stand up, and we're going to stand up. I want every government member and minister to know that we're here, brother. We have a right to speak. We have a right to stand. We have a right to protest. Because this is a shame to see that people would have voted to destroy a mountain that shelters our rivers. And the people downstream are screaming out, the rivers are eating them. The rivers is dirty, silt and everything. Fish is perishing. What we going to do? Stand up? Talk? Go on radio every day? People, you got to stand up. You must stand up. It is your time to stand up. Regardless what, you have been sitting down for too long. This is Nasir Fountain talking to you.
Nasir, some persons who are watching the live may say, oh, where were you all the time? Why now?
You see, my sister, watch me. I never stand up for politics, regardless, red or blue. We standing for the cause of Dominica. Because me could have lived anywhere else overseas. I choose to live here because that's where I love. That's where I get all my natural food. So I left all the politics run, But now we are looking at it and seeing that these people think them can just crush the country and do whatever they want. Because I'm not afraid to voice my opinion, Because you can kill me when I finish, I have no problem with that, I am saying that we should not sit down and let this thing happen. Look, pan your cameras and show the world what is going down right here. You think we should have to suffer like this? You think this is the way it should go? And nobody asked the people of Dominica permission. They didn't ask anybody permission. Not forestry, not housing, not anyone. And there is a law. It's illegal. This is totally illegal. Anyone come challenge me right now. It's illegal. And we're saying if we have to pay with our lives, we will do it because we cannot afford to continue this.
I know with development comes destruction, and we are building an international airport, a major project for Dominica.
Let me stop you this history. How do you say it? With development comes. Now, man, we can't afford destruction. This is there. We are promoting this place as Nature Isle. Nature Isle, Nature Island, Nature Island. Where is the Nature Island? Where is the love for the Nature Island? Who's gonna stand for the Nature Island? Are we gonna destroy our nature so that we can have an airport? What happened? Melvin Hall, we can't land, we can't take off. Everybody have a wish and a desire. Is that in the benefit of Dominica? Or is it the benefit of some other people? We are saying, my sister, we need to stand. You, me, everyone, we need to stand. Regardless what is your political affiliation. This is not about politics. This is about protecting Dominica. We cannot stand by. Tomorrow the children will say, Mommy, Daddy, Uncle, Grandfather, why did you guys stand up? Why did you guys didn't stand up? Why did you guys allow them to destroy the place that we have to live in? Yo, Emo, this is not a joke, you know. It's a serious business, you know. When you look at it, think about it. People downstream river already screaming. So what will happen tomorrow? You know that they're going to dynamite the entire mountain, which is miles up. And Lord knows what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying to you? We are from here. We born and raised here. We have a right like everyone else. And we're not afraid no one. We don't right to make no war, no violence against no one. But we are not going to stand and figure, well, oh, we are afraid, oh, we don't gonna stand. We need to stand. And we need to stand now.
So one thing for sure, I am happy to see Nacio Fountain in person. I haven't seen him in a while. And you see how good he looks, and he's very passionate about what is going on. And we allow him to express himself. And News, we are happy to provide him with this platform. We are also being joined by Tony Nago. I'm not sure if you want to say something shortly. Would you want him to say something?
Just let everyone know that this has nothing to do with politics. Blue, red, we're just people who want to stand up for our country.
Okay, so we will not have the person speak yet. All right, we'll have Joshua Francis gonna make a short statement. He's passing by as well, so we can ask Joshua what he feels about this mining going on here at the bush.
Good morning. Hi, good morning, and good morning to your followers on Facebook and the social media platform. I'm doing well, Emo.
All right, Joshua. We are here with Nacio Fountain, who is voicing his, concern about the mining that is taking place right here at Debonche. What are your views?
Well, let me commend Nacio Fountain. I think that's a very important role that he's playing. Nacio Fountain is an impeccable character. He's a prominent person in our society. And the addition of his voice to the voices that have already been echoed in respect to the matter is very important. And I'm of the view that his voice will resonate very well with the people. And hopefully more Dominicans will understand the magnitude of the project which is taking place as far as the adverse effect it can have on the environment. And Mr. Nacio Fountain's voice definitely will add value. And I hope that more and more Dominicans understand the importance of standing for the environment, standing for the nature island, the nature isle of the world. This really is our Eden here, and we have to protect it. And once a project can start affecting the water supply or the water source on an island, then we have to stand up because water is life. Water is life. And we are talking about forest reserves. You're talking about the Central Forest Reserve and the Northern Forest Reserve. So there are several ramifications concerning that project which is undergoing at Debonche.
Where's the Nature Island? Where all this great thing? 3rd of November, we put everything upon us and we dress like slaves and we say, oh, Nature Island. Where is the Nature Island? Where's the love for the Nature Island? Huh?
Yeah. Well, that's it, that's the basis of it, is Nature Island. Dominica is known as the Nature Island of the Caribbean, of the world. And what separates Dominica from everywhere else is the quality of water, the fresh water. Apart from the lovely people and the beautiful fauna and flora, the water, and that project at Dubuash could affect our water supply and by extension affect the people of the Kalinago territory. So I'm really happy to be here to support NASIO and the people of Dominica who understand what's happening and standing for the environment.
Thank you so much. So Nacio, we heard the Prime Minister say that work will continue. What message would you like to
We
send?
don't care. We don't care what the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister was employed by the Dominican people. Anyone can deny me or correct me. The Prime Minister of Dominica was employed by the people. So when the people say no and them want to say yes, them have to understand, say, the voice of the people together is the voice of the Almighty. So right now the people have to stand and push and say, guess what? We're not hearing you say no because let me tell you something, sister. You think anybody in your right mind could go try to defeat a mountain and destroy a mountain? And we must say, oh, Prime Minister said, we don't care what the Prime Minister says, sister. This is Dominica, you know. This is it right now. Like I tell you, I'm willing to lay down my life. Lay down my life for my people. Because it's supposed to be like that. We're not going to hear what politicians say. We are going to say to the world, this is a trouble. This is a problem. That's a shame. That's a travesty. Chinese are digging. MMC doing a bunch of crap in the country. And it's like the people, my Dominica people, let me tell you. Please, my people, I beg you, with my heart and my conscience, wake up. Wake up, my people. They're going to take you for a ride. They have taken you for a ride. Please, to at least to save your country. Not for politics and church. Please wake up.
Nacio, do you have any reggae song that would suit this what is happening here?
Well, I don't know if that's true, but we have whole heap of reggae music and
Give us one.
and much greater. Right now, we're not in a singing mode right now, you know. Emo. Right now, it's a revolutionary mode. Right now, I'm very emotional because we cannot sit at home and watch television and eat nice food and say, why the man are digging up so, the man dig up so. Emo, we have to stand up. You, me, the world, we have to stand up.
On behalf of Emo News, we say thank you all for joining. We are happy to come here to allow Mr. Fontaine to voice his concern. And we are happy that you joined us this morning. Those of you following on Matt, those of you following on Emo News, thank you so much for joining us. And we are going to give Mr. Fontaine one more opportunity to give his final comments.
Yeah, well, Sam, Emo, we would like to thank you for coming through. We would like to thank Mr. Joshua who just spoke on the matter. And the vibration is not that one voice. We have millions of voices. Right now, the ancestors are here with us. Everyone is here present. The trees, the branches, the ferns, the water, the fishes, everything is here. And we are saying together, we are strong. We are strong and we're going to be stronger. We're going to be here until, you know, my sister, tomorrow, day after, next week, whatever it is, until I'm tired of me and just kill me to blood clot because we're going to be standing.
We will have Dr. IP who is also here. Dr. IP wants to share some remarks. Good morning.
I just want to, I don't even know, I just want to stand and say that basically I fully support the position that Nacio has taken. That's why I'm here, and Joshua. And I think it has just come to that time where I don't have the luxury to sit, and especially after I saw what those young people did, because we tend to accuse young people of not being involved, and it really moved me to feel that I should do something for them, for the future, and for my ancestors. So I'm here, I'm standing with Nacio until this ends.
As I said to you, and I played, a few people may have missed it. The Prime Minister visited the area just last week. Was it Thursday? And that was his reaction after visiting the site.
The Bush project, as you can see, there has been dramatic work being done insofar as putting in place the mitigation measures as recommended by the environmental impact assessment. So if you go there inside, and I believe it's important to take you inside at some point as a media, so you can see the number of things that have been done. All of them are recommendations from experts, from professionals in the field, what you can do to mitigate against the impact. If you compare the Debmarsh site now to what it was 3 weeks ago, there's been a dramatic change of the thing. You don't see mud on the road anymore. You don't see mud rolling down from the road, from the site. All of those measures have been taken in place. Because the reality is, my dear, that there are measures you can put in place to mitigate against the impact. You understand? To reduce the impact, to lessen the impact. And all of those measures are being put in place.
Yes, I see. So many phone calls to handle. Let's continue listening to the Prime Minister here. Let's continue.
But the reality is, the site is important. Do you know, in the 80s, when Centra did the road from Hatton Garden to Portsmouth, they used that site for stones, you know. And before that, 916, I believe that site was also used for quarrying for another project. And if you realize, and this is why the experts are saying that the rocks there are crucial, because it has a particular density and strength that we required for building some of the structures and so forth, in order for us to benefit from it. And looking at the road from Hatton Garden, if you realize, back in the 80s, Michel's brought 3 companies, Russian Tompkin, Nelotier, and Centra, to do free roads in Dominica. And the road that lasted the longest was the one done by Centra. And we believe that is directly linked to the quality of the aggregates that were used from Debmarsh as on the surface of the road. That's why the road lasted longer than any other road that was built at the same time in the 80s and so forth. So let us make it happen. Let us make it happen. If you have a suggestion or idea, fine. Send it to me. A recommendation from an expert that you brought in or yourself. That's what we can do to mitigate against it. But we have to take the rocks. The rocks belong to us. The Lord give us the rocks to build homes, to build infrastructure, to create opportunities for people. We can't say import the rocks from Canada when we have the rocks right here in Dominica. And then we're going to take the money that's supposed to stay in Dominica and send it to Canada. Canada have all their money. We need money in Dominica. And that's what we told. If the money is there, why not make use of it? Why is it okay for us to export standard aggregate to other countries, which we're doing, and not use it for ourselves? And people who say, go to the West Coast. The West Coast quarries have affected the marine life, you know. We've done a number of studies on that, and there were measures that were put in place to mitigate against that. So wherever you go in Dominica, there's going to be an impact. And so, and Debmarsh, basically, because we only go into Debmarsh because of the quality of the stone. If we could get it here inside, that'd be great. If we get it somewhere else closer, that'd be great. But that's where we have identified, based on independent evaluations and our own evaluation, that's where we have to go.
I would really like to speak to the experts that the Prime Minister referred to, huh? And PM, if you can contact them to contact me, I'd like to speak to them. And please make your contributions very short, because a lot of people trying to get in, huh? So please make your contributions very short. Let's go to the telephone. Are you there? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, let me make my contribution very short.
Thank you.
Matt Skerritt is talking about all the experts and all. Why the experts are not talking? Who are the experts? Chinese, Matt? Or what he's talking about there, Matt? He's making reference to what the experts said. But, Matt, have you heard the experts spoke on that matter with Dave Walsh, Matt?
I haven't. I think on one occasion, I think one person may have spoken to one engineer. Yes.
So one engineer, but we're talking about experts and professionals and all of that. Not the same idea in a different context leads to unequal results. What you need to look at is the context in which this idea operates, not the idea. So Central, Mistral, bringing in all of that. But why did they stop? What's the sensitivity of the area? If there is no critical assessment of the situation, I'm talking about some environmental assessment, impact study or whatever. But did they get the authority of all forestry planning and whatever the case may be? So the West Coast, it is having an impact on the marine. Matt, you can destroy the sea. Matt,
I think
marine life might be impacted. But Matt, the sensitivity of waterways, Matt, water tables, Matt, all of a sudden you can just kill a river by one act of mining, Matt. Because the river, you do not know the direct source of the river. And sometimes you go and cut a road and all of a sudden a river or a ravine just die or it go to a trickle. So this lunatic, Matt, that trying to make people to believe, oh, yeah, he says, send the report to me. Send the report to me. Who is Skerritt? Skerritt is not a geologist. He's not a soil scientist. That's what it means. So all of a sudden, everything has to come to him because he's the Lord of the Ring. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Blessings. 136. I'll get in touch with you in a minute, okay? I know you've been trying to call. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Yes.
Bernard Morrow from Massac.
Hi, Bernard Morrow.
Let me tell you something. I live in the French countries, my boy. And if you see it was in Guadeloupe or if it was in Martinique, my brother, all those people that mine in there would have run. Their machines would have disappeared. The volume of people that would be there and the amount of action that would be there, my brother, they would have forced to run. Yeah. We need to tell Skerritt enough is enough. It's not his mother's property. It's not his mother's property. Yeah, and he can't do what he wants in a bloody country.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. What's your words there? 137. Hello, talk to me, yeah?
Matt, good afternoon.
To you too.
Matt, is this the first time money would leave Dominica and run away? I hear him talking about if he would rather send the money to Canada or wherever. Under his watch, money left Dominica and the money living away right now. So what? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Dominica. We have environmentalists, conservationists, Mr. Martin. On the line at this time, he's been monitoring the situation from morning. And I think he wants to add his voice to this ongoing debate on Dave Walsh. Mr. Martin, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Matthias. How are you?
I'm here, sir. What's your take on this move by, of course, reggae sensation Nasir Fontaine to stand?
Well, I know Mr. Fontaine very well. I have a great respect for his music, both musically and lyrically. And I know his music comes from his heart. He would say from his soul. And I know he's been very, very committed to not just keeping Dominica safe and keeping the environment here safe, but the world. He's a global person, gifted to the world by Dominica. And yes, I do have great respect for him and for the stand he's taking. He's always held that position. I believe he's got to a point where he can no longer sustain his pain in silence. And so he has come to his people. And he has shared his innermost feelings with us. And I hope we take him seriously. I certainly do. And realize that if somebody like Nasir can understand the seriousness of the situation to the point where he's prepared to physically stand in the face of that kind of aberration, the rest of us better examine our consciences and find within us the strength, the fortitude, and the backbone to do likewise. That is my assessment of Mr. Fontaine's appeal to us. But the assessment I have is based on my years of study and years of work, not just here in Dominica. I've worked in Jamaica. I've worked in Malaysia. I've worked in El Salvador. I've worked in many of the Caribbean islands, in Guyana. And one of the things as a scientist that you learn very, very early is not to jump to conclusions, to examine the details and the evidence very thoroughly. And you also learn that the review of your peers, the review of your work by other scientists is extremely important, not only to the integrity of your work, but to the future of the science itself. And so any claim of a report existing to suggest that that is the best source of a material for a particular project, that report needs to be made available publicly yesterday, immediately, so that other persons with the expertise in the field, geology, soil science, etc., and construction engineering, can actually take a hard look at the report and say, yes, that is a thorough investigation of the situation, and certainly that is a good source of rock material. Or the conclusion could be opposite and say, no, that's a very casual, and careless assessment of a critical resource, and here's what's wrong with it, here's what's needed to be done. These are the scientific tests and assessments that need to accompany such a report, and they are absent. So the conclusions can be challenged on the basis of a scientific review by persons armed with the skill to do that. A politician or somebody without the skills can only read and decide, okay, on the basis of what you tell me, I'll just go with it. But that person is not in a position, doesn't have the intellectual or technical knowledge that would allow them to assess. So it would have had to be assessed independently. And that is where a report like that would have had to be submitted to the planning division. And the planning division has access to our forestry division, our engineering and civil works division, our agricultural division, our construction sector. So through the planning division, which was set up years ago to guarantee the safety and integrity of civil works projects and other projects, they could have organized access, and in fact, in many cases, persons from these various areas of technical expertise are already sitting on and available to the chief planner as they proceed to evaluate reports like are being referred to. And if that is done, after that, you'd want to see now the report of planning. What is planning's assessment of that technical report on the density, etc., of the rock to which the gentleman is referring? That is one. But that would still leave the matter incomplete, because such a report would have to be incorporated into a full economic and social and environmental assessment report. Because that report then would take a look at the scientific recommendation on the rocks in the Desbranches area, and then look at, okay, what is involved in getting at those rocks? How much of the rock is available? I can tell you, in 1996, when we challenged Broken Hill Proprietary, the Australian mining company, which was at that time the largest copper mining company in the world, they came here and they did a preliminary assessment of that same area, but going much further up to the crest of the Desbranches Hill and including all the way down to the bridge area. And their conclusion was the volume of harvestable material that they were looking for. They were looking for copper, which would be in association with rock formations. They said that the volume of rock that would make something like that worthwhile is about between 2,500 and 4,000 feet deep. And all the soil that is on top of that would have to be removed and put somewhere in order to allow for access to the rock material of sufficient quantity to make the venture viable. Now, granted, they're looking for rock to build an airport. So one would have the impact assessment report would have to say, okay, how much rock do you need for the airport project? What is the volume of rock you need? Is that volume available in Desbranches? And that would have to be based on subsurface geological assessment, which is why that level of depth and detail would have to have been entertained in order to arrive at an accurate assessment of rock availability and rock suitability. So the truth is, we are hearing somebody speaking about something about which they know not. They are echoing maybe something that some person said to them, yeah, man, that's okay, we need to get all the rock we want there. But so my suggestion would be that report that was referred to on the nature of the suitability of the rock in the area, that report needs to be made available to the public immediately. It needs to be made available so that independent technical expertise can review it and say, you know, that's a complete or that's an incomplete assessment, etc., etc. That's one. And most important, if you're going to go after that rock, after that quantity of rock, here is what is involved in terms of the removal of trees, the removal of soil, etc., so that you can actually get at the material you want to quarry. That is now the subject of the impact assessment, so that the impact assessment report, which is a report that would have used the technical data that he is referring to about the rock to do an assessment of what would be involved in harvesting that rock, that impact assessment report also must now be made available to the public. And guess what? By law, by planning law of the Commonwealth of Dominica, impact assessment reports on projects of public interest, like the airport for which the rock is destined, have to be made available for review by any interested party. Nobody can sit on the other side of an issue and pre-select who they want to have access to this report. Every Tom, Dick, Harry, Jane, Joe, and Jezebel, if they wish, according to the law, they can go to the planning department if they have to pay a fee for photocopying the report, but they cannot be prevented from seeing. So I would say, what I have heard today suggests that somebody is now aware that the assessment of the rock and the implications for getting at the rock must be the subject of reports that would, by law, have to be submitted to the planning division, be assessed, and it would then be determined not only whether or not the rock is suitable, but whether or not the rock is suitable, is available in sufficient quantity, and is in a location on the mountainside that is not going to require blasting to smithereens the mountains that are protecting Dominica and the mountains that underpin our tourism image as the nature island. So whether he intended to or not, the gentleman has made it quite clear that maybe they have not followed the law. And they're doing a kind of a vai piecemeal kind of thing, only because a few people have started raising some questions. But the law is the law. We have been told many times by the same gentleman that this is a country of laws. And the laws must be applied evenly. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So we must now insist that the reports associated, not just at the quarry site, which is of immediate concern, but in order to determine the demand for that rock and whether or not that demand is available at that location in Des Branches, we must now see the plans for the international airport that say, yes, we're really going to need X volume of rock to complete that project.
Based on what I heard the Prime Minister said, and after you're basically, saying the same, that they have assessed the other areas, and Des Branches is the area where they can get the best quality. And do you believe that?
That's good. That's good. So we need to see the assessments. What are the other areas that were assessed? Was Crapo Hall assessed? If Crapo Hall was assessed, where is that report? Because what has happened in Crapo Hall, they've gone in and they've blasted half of a mountain away already. And they are harvesting rock from Crapo Hall without the benefit of a permit from the planning division. If that were a private person doing a project like that, planning could have come in and stopped the operation right there. The question is, if you, as the state sector, are insisting that people follow the rules and the laws and the procedures, why don't you follow them yourself? How do you expect people to behave if you, the purveyor and protector of law, are disobeying and breaking the law? And there's good reason for having people obey the law. So Crapo Hall has been mentioned. I believe there was a quarrying effort north of Calibishi going down towards Ansdime and so on and so on. But that was a quarrying effort. They were there searching for rock, Matt. That was never a designated quarry. There used to be a Carish pit in the area that was used to supply material for road subbasing and things like that. But a quarry for a major airport project like the one that is underway, that requires a full formalized assessment of the quarry's ability to meet the demand of rock for that project. That was never achieved in any quarry site anywhere else, anywhere in Dominica that I'm aware of, probably with the exception of Crapo Hall, which they did take a look at, but did not apparently seek permission, because we have not seen any impact assessment report for Crapo Hall. And the impact of that Crapo Hall quarrying operation on the river is already considerable. Considerable. And so let's be clear, Matt. This is not about stopping projects. This is not about interfering with the need for improved access to Dominica. Everybody and their mother's uncle and men agrees you need improved access. But if you make arrangements for improved access, and by the time you finish getting your access, you've destroyed the thing that you're trying to bring people here to see, who will come, Matt? Who will come? If you destroy the product that is your tourism attraction singularly in the Caribbean and throughout the world in order to get an airport. So it seems that maybe he did not intend to this morning, but he has significantly focused attention on the central issue of compliance with the laws of Dominica, especially when you're doing such major civil works as an airport and a quarry. And these are major. And if you go through the planning laws of Dominica, you will see that they list quarries, for example, as one of the areas of project activity that must, of imperative, must have scientific assessment and impact assessment done prior to. And this is the other point. If they are still gathering scientific information on Debouche, on the basis of what authority have they started doing what they're doing there? On the basis of what authority? Because no work, no legal work can be going on a site like that without permission having been granted following the procedures and rules of the Planning Act. So he has uncovered a hornet's nest because it is now clear to the discerning mind that these guys, not just the politicians, let me hasten to add, the politicians frankly most often they don't know what they're talking about. They're just saying what they feel they want and what some technical person tells them. That okay, man? People wouldn't understand. So I'm calling for an accountability of the performance of the technical personnel on the Dominica side of things, because these are the people we pay to protect our interests. And if they are being lackadaisical and slack and sloppy and careless and maybe trying to curry favor with what they know to be a popular project for the political directorate, then these technical persons, the environmental engineers, the planning people, the economic analysts, etc., all of them have to be called to account, because you would have had to write a report to the head of the airport authority or whatever, saying you recommend and you approve. So we would want to see what it is you approved, and on the basis of what data did you approve the going ahead with a quarry site in the Demarche area. So you see, Matt, and this is the thing that bothers politicians. They do not like to be held accountable. They figure, well, the higher they get, the less they have to report. Who the hell those fellas think they are asking us for this, asking us for that? Although I'm hearing him saying, oh, if there are people who want to ask him, but who is the minister responsible for planning? Who is the minister responsible for aviation? Who is the minister responsible for civil works in Dominica? Is the prime minister, the chair of cabinet, responsible for all these portfolios? Having been a minister twice before, I know when you are sworn in as a minister, you are given a portfolio with a series of areas of responsibility, which under law, you are personally responsible for. Nobody else. You. So the ministers in those respective areas that I just mentioned are the ones who would have to say, well, who in your ministry reviewed this material and gave the okay on your name, on your behalf? So this is this is exposing that what we have that is going on and has been passing for government, governance and administration and is a mélange, is a cocoa macaque, is a thing where T's are not crossed, I's are not dotted. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. You know, and then you have somebody glibly talking about, oh, we've done the assessment, we've done that, and the science says this. But whose science? You can argue equally strong science on either side of any issue. That is why independent assessment of all reports relevant to the quarrying and the potential extraction of rock from Demarche, all relevant reports need to be made available.
Transparency, that's the key there. Transparency. I know, of course, a lot of people are trying to call in, but I just want to say, will you be joining? Because I just spoke to the team up there, Nasir and Dr. IEP, and they're saying that persons should join them in action, their protest action, as it relates to Demarche. Will you and your team be joining IEP and Nasir at some time?
Yes, Matt, you have to understand that Afi Martin has been on engaged with this kind of things for a while. So I'm really, really pleased to see the youngsters like IP and Nazio engaging in that. I say youngsters because I just turned 80 years.
Wow.
On the 23rd of December, 2 weeks ago, Matt. And I've been involved in this kind of activity since I was 27. Okay? So understand that none of this is new to me. I understand the issue of standing up. When Henry Shillingford and myself with the Conservation Association used to stand up, people used to say, you're fool, man. If I come and say,
that's true.
Government is even more accountable under the law than the private citizen. So, yes, I plan to join them.
All right, Mr. Mate. Thank you very much. Mr. Mate says he plans to join them at 80, yeah? Will you join the campaign? Thank you very much, Athi. Nasir. Again.
Everyone, regardless where you are right now, we want to say have a beautiful day.
And Nacho is a reggae artist, one of Dominica's best. And today he's going to tell us why he chose to stand, why he chose to be here this morning. So we are going to just give him an opportunity to tell us all about his standing up.
Yeah, well, the situation here is we are here in Demarche. Like the cameras can pick up the damages that they have been doing to our country. They're destroying the rivers. They are planning to finish up the mountains. We have foreigners here. We have CR5 Chinese company. We have MMC. And everybody's aim is to destroy. God destroy, me see them a destroy. God is not have no development. Again, it's just pure destruction. I am calling on the government of Dominica. Every one of you need to understand that this thing has to stop. We need to stop it right now. And Dominicans, you need to stand up. And you have to stand up for your country. We don't ask you to stand up for politics. We don't ask you to stand up for church. We don't ask you to stand up for anything. We're asking you to stand up for your country. It gave us water, food, air, peace, the animals of the forest and the fishes of the river. Now we're gonna stand there and let people destroy it? Isn't that what we plan to do?
So those of you joining me now, this is the site that is being used to get materials for the construction of our international airport. In recent times, we have seen conferences, we have seen forums where folks are saying that they need this project to be stopped. On Thursday, we had a tour with the Prime Minister of Dominica, and he stated that this is the area that they can get the best, materials to construct the international airport. And now, Mr. Fontaine, you are saying that you need this project to stop.
Listen to me. They can say this is the place where them get the best material. We say this is the place we have the best rivers, our water tables. All right? If we have to destroy our country to build a friggin' airport, then it's not worth it. That is my opinion. And that is the opinion of many Dominicans. May I say, right now we have Dr. Pascal standing here, my wife Helen, and we thank you guys came through. We need to stand up, and we're going to stand up. I want every government member and minister to know that we're here, brother. We have a right to speak. We have a right to stand. We have a right to protest. Because this is a shame to see that people would have voted to destroy a mountain that shelters our rivers. And the people downstream are screaming out, the rivers are eating them. The rivers are dirty, silt and everything. Fish is perishing.
A reggae sensation. Nasir Fountain standing. I've got an update in a while. I know Dr. IP and Nasir still up there. I suspect they're going to be there for a few days. And encouraging everybody to join them as they continue to stand for Dominica. I just made contact with Mr. Jerry Brisbane himself, who's been doing some work on that. We heard him sometime last week or the week before. Mr. Jerry Brisbane, can you give us an update? What's the latest situation there with Dave Wash? What do you know? What are you learning? I know your theme was educating. What are you learning at this time?
Yeah, Matt, good afternoon. Good afternoon to your listeners.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah. Well, Matt, I mean, we are still, before I even say anything to, let me just say, well, I understand NASIO and IP and so on are doing their stuff up at Bosch, and which is really welcoming. As you know, when I came on the program, I clearly indicated that our intent was to share information, which is what I believe we as human beings are supposed to do in this life, is to share with each other. And then each one of us decides what it is we want to do with that information, or how we take it forward. There are different routes. I've often told people, we all want to go to Melbourne Hall, but some of us may take the Portsmouth route, some may take the Dave Wash, some may take the Castlebush route. When we all get to Melbourne Hall, then we can meet and decide. So obviously, the route that NASIO and IP are taking is what I guess they've decided to take, and we welcome that. It's all strength. We have ourselves decided and maintained for now that our approach is three-pronged. It's legal, it's outreach, and it's educational. And as you know, we spend quite a bit of resources, our own, including time, money, and everything else so far,
to try to get answers to this whole situation that's going on at Deepwash. Because, again, as the public is aware, there's very little that is known to this day. This thing came about all of a sudden, no one knew about it. And the information that we actually had received, documented information, was that, and factual, because everything we try to present is factual information, was that Deepwash was never considered in the initial reports or stuff to do with the airport. Matt, I'm sure you're aware of the saying, failure to plan is a plan to fail. Have you ever heard that, Matt?
Many times.
Many times. So really and truly, this is why we're here today, because of the failure of the leadership of the country to plan properly. And so now the plan appears to be failing. A lot of stuff is happening. And it's unfortunate because we, as patriotic and concerned citizens, could be spending this resource that we have, financial, time, and everything else, really trying to do other things to move the country forward and to build the country. Now we are having to spend a lot of this time and resource, financial otherwise, trying to defend something to me that we really shouldn't be defending. It should have been a fait accompli that Deepwash should never have been considered, or what has taken place there, should be happening at this point in time. There's just one thing I want before I go on to discuss quickly some other things. Is, there's talk all about this, reports that the leadership is claiming that they have had to suggest that the stone
The experts, yes.
at Deepwash is, the best, and this and that and so on. I think Afi has dealt with all of that in quite a bit of detail. But, there's one part I was brought up to say about Nelotia, or whichever one that did that road, and how mining took place at that area, and different things. Matt, have you passed at Deepwash?
Yes, I have.
I mean, you drove there all before this present situation.
Yes, of course.
Did you see any kind of major hole or the cliff
Never.
being knocked out like crazy?
Never.
Never. Possibly there could have been some minor mining of rock, because there is an outcrop of rock. If you pass there just after the bridge on the left, which is the first place the Chinese actually went and did some minor testing. I don't know what they really did. They broke some of that and did whatever. But basically, whatever, if you want to say grading or excavation that took place, there was to improve the road. As you know, when the road was being done, they had to scrape the mountainside, they had to break down certain things, which is a normal thing when you're doing roads. But I don't remember myself seeing any kind of major hole or any kind of equipment digging and mining there. So I really don't know what the leadership is talking about. I'm at a loss. But Mal, what I want to just conclude by saying, and at some time in the near future, we will probably again we will come to the public and share more information, because again, our approach is whatever we do or whatever we say is based on facts. And so far, as you know, Matt, the facts and the information that has been brought about by the ecologists and the youth, Gary, my daughter Janelle, and by other people who have been involved, has never been challenged. It has never been.
But because I'm very happy you said that, Jerry, because he did say in that announcement there earlier when he went to Deepwash sometime, I think Thursday last week, that all the experts he has spoken to said to him that this is the best area for the rocks he's looking for. And I'm saying, well, what are the experts? Because I'm hearing from different experts. So what have you gotten any information from the experts he's talking about, Jerry?
No, nothing at all, Matt. And what I'm prepared to see at this point in time, I am prepared to disclose, because everything we're doing is very public and open. Very public and open. So I am prepared to disclose the person who we got, who is a geologist from the University of the West Indies in Jamaica, who has been involved in geological work. He is a professor there, the lead professor there. And he has been involved in geological work for 30 years, Matt, around the world, and also in the Caribbean. So if you want to say something, Matt, this guy, as they say, he knows his rocks. Let's put it this way, he knows his rocks. Okay? I wouldn't say stones, that may imply other things, but anyway, he knows his rocks. And so he has taken back quite a number of material with him. And what we are doing right now, Matt, again, that's why, you know, we are not just going to be running our mouths on the radio or in the media or anywhere. We're waiting on the report, official report from him. And Matt, I'm going to tell you who he is, and the public can Google him up so they can see the information on this guy, because there's nothing to hide. His name is Simon, Simon Mitchell, Mitchell. Okay, so anyone can Google that name, and they'll see all the information on this guy and the awards and everything this guy has achieved or the work he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's our expert, if you want to see, Matt. Maybe the leadership can now tell us the names of their experts, and we can also Google them up and compare. Okay?
I like that. Jerry, we've got to go. So, PM, can you expose who your experts are this time? Thank you, Mr. Jerry Brisbane.
Signs of third times are getting nearer. And this mountain is getting nearer, clearer every day. Things are go crucial. Coming up Babylon, yeah. Things are go crucial. Things are go crucial.
We're looking for transparency, huh? So please, can you name the experts, Prime Minister, Skerrit, or any of your officials?
Master, good afternoon. Dominica, let me tell you something. I'm a Jamaican call me, Mato, and tell me. They never know Dominican are educated fool to cuss nasty or fountain, Jackie. Jackie Dominican don't know what nasty or fountain. Me say me sorry for Dominican, you know. But I tell him, wa lawyer for the Prime Minister tell me that, you know, tell me Dominican labor rights are the most uneducated fool, you know, labor queen. You see it? And that's why when I come to America now, me do me GED true because of what Tony Astafan tell me. Labor queen, labor rights in the Caribbean. Dominican labor right is the most uneducated fool. They cannot read and they cannot write. Some of them doesn't read, and PM tell them don't listen to Q95 to educate them. If I lie, you can call Tony Astafan no. And Dominican people watching us. I feel so bad when my Jamaican them call me and tell me, Jackie, go up on the live, you know. Top up the live, you know. See them a cuss nasty funky. Yo, me no respect to Dominica. Otherwise, you don't like your people, them Jackie in New York. Got them fool. And they don't know who they be. See it? I don't care disrespect the King Nasty. What wrong with them young little Dominica? What wrong with them, no? The bumble clot. And Nasty Fountain, we say. It's sad matter. And Nasty Fountain are people that respect him, and enough people watching the live and, you know, top up the live. And them look at the hungry Dominican come and tell Nasty Fountain, come out. You know the history. Watch how Trump sending people back in their country. Where you gonna send me? Europe? Let me send me to Uti. Nasty, you're the king. Big up yourself.
Let's go to the telephone. Hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh. Yeah. What was that?
Good tomorrow again.
Yes, you're back. You're a lucky guy. Yes.
Has any of the police hierarchy, the Corbett, the James, the JJs, the Theophil, Has any one of them visited the site, or they waited until something atrocious to happen there for them to come and arrest people like they did on March 19th? Have any one of them come on the site to see what the people talking about, or are they waiting for some bloodshed or something atrocious to happen, and then for them to come in? Because that is where that is leading, brother. That is where that is leading. Yeah.
All right.
But first I know it's gonna get worse. So much worse. Shines up, curtains are getting nearer.
Somebody says those who cannot go there can stand in their own communities. Actually, as a matter of fact, I've been getting a lot of pledges, people promising pledges to help, pay for some buses. As I share some information that maybe some officials may be visiting there tomorrow, and NASU and the other people standing and encouraging you to come. So once I get information about pledges, I'll let you know, so these people can get a few buses and go up there to stand, huh? So if you one person in the diaspora that want to pledge some support to the cause, let me know, okay? I think somebody's already pledged $400. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Merci la ni police. Non la ni pour faire pont excavateur c'est tirer là où ça. Because les bails ça non c'est phénomène. Pont do bout de vie sorti pour tirer excavateur là non. Puis pas faire plus dommage tout ça. Comment ça me dit? C'est non là, ouais non la cadre excavateur fait tirer excavateur là non. Et ça qui problème là quoi qu'on a sur là. Si maintenant là pour nous aller là et pour nous petit excavateur là et ça nous pour faire oui et ça qui tout bout mais là mon la seule bain non pour catcher mon yon la chimé pour catcher mon yon la chimé on ça c'est pas ou double bâton ne coup ça mat et ba double bâton ne coup ça ba politicien nous ça et ba tout ne fouet ou comment ça mon les dou car yon non pas ça de canon pays ou ça une bonne gang so non là quel excavateur ni pour pas couper d'autres. On dit pas couper d'autres, il va nous couper d'autres. C'est sorti pour sortir là. C'est ça qui est le problème là right now.
So hambago gale là, demain.
I said the things that them I keep down inside. Truth will reveal. The truth will reveal what's in their heart.
Somebody said, Matt Scarrett said, under Damien Jr. Charles, Dewansh site was used because the rocks are stronger, or the strongest, and they build strong on surfaces. He went on to say the road built between Wesley and to Portsmouth was the strongest as a result of the Dewansh rocks, and therefore the surface lasted longer. That is so false. There are other things to consider. Road surfaces are subjected to density or traffic. Therefore, one of the main reasons for that section of the road lasting the longer is that because of the fact that particular road is exposed to less traffic than the other roads constructed at the same time. The second impact is that the rainfall frequency and quantity and of drainage. Central drainage was superior to that of Russian Tompkins and Nellotier. The third is the density and weight of the traffic using the roads. The traffic is heavier and sometimes way above the road PSI. 4 points of the rocks are superior for the road building. How come Scott Khan did not use the Dewansh for all the roads that they now give him to build around the island? Over the years, we have extended and resurfaced Melville Hall Airport on more than one occasion. How comes Dewansh was never used or never considered? And something is wrong. Very fishy. Very fishy, man. Very fishy.
I know the truth will reveal Oh, Vietnam. Let the truth be revealed, yeah. Truth will be nowhere to hide. Good morning to you and all Dominicans. Matt, I am back in the cold, and as you can hear, I am battling the cold. You can hear it in my voice, but I am listening nonetheless. And Matt, this morning, Nasir Fountain gave me hope, Matt, by adding his voice to the national discourse on the Debwash issue, Matt. You know what I would like to do, Matt? I would like to personally thank him, this legendary music icon, Nasir Fountain, for standing up, as I said, on this national issue of importance, the mining of Debwash, the devastation and destruction of our watersheds in the north. I particularly thank him on behalf of the conquered people, particularly the elderly who can't stand up, and those of us who are abroad, Matt, but we hold close our deep sentiments for the conquered river and the nature on a whole, where we grew up. We actually grew up in that river with the fishes, Matt. So you know how sentimental that is to me, and how troubling I feel when I heard the criminal Roosevelt Skerrit still, said in his press that he still has, the intentions to go in and go into the bush in the mountain and despoil it. Matt, I call on all the people of Concord and the Kalinago communities to stand up for that liquid gold, stand up and protect that liquid gold that flows through the Concord Kalinago community before it is totally destroyed. Now is not the time to remain silent under political banners, especially in the face of such national tragedy. Matt, there is absolutely nothing more to lose with a government that is destined to take the very life of the Dominican people that God has blessed them with. Matt, when a government decides to poison the water, the very water that gives you life, then Matt, you can no longer honor a government like that. Now is the time for us to rise up by any means necessary and get rid of Roosevelt Skerrit and his gang, including the Chinese in Dominica, who have absolutely no respect for indigenous Dominicans. And I say that because I believe this is well structured under the secret MOU that no one knows about, that Roosevelt Skerrit signed with the Chinese many years ago. It seems that this man has given Chinese a Dominica. I don't know anywhere in the world that the Chinese could have such authority to just walk in and bulldoze a country, even give the indigenous people marching orders if the place is not, or if the land is not annexed to them. I don't know where else they would be able to do it, Matt. But it's only in Dominica I see that madness. And I see a people who have decided to look the other way. Where are the conquered people? Why aren't they standing? Why aren't they standing? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Thank you, Matt.
Thank you too. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, Dominica. This is The Talk on the Block. Stick around.
immense gratitude and appreciation for you, and we would like to say thank you. A special heartfelt thank you and congratulations to the nominees, the winners and the awardees of the 2025.
2026, night number 1, January 14th, 8:30 p.m. at the new Hope of Stardom Factory on Bali Road. $40 gets you inside, $50 VIP. Daddy Chess, Trendsetter, Thai, Observer, Caressa, Dasha P, Royal, Mystery, the defending Stardom Monarch, Shanice, Monarch, Joy Now, and more. Opening night, Wednesday, January 14th at the new Home of Stardom, the Factory on Valley Road, 8:30 p.m. $40 gets you inside, $50 VIP. You gotta miss opening night. Stardom Tents. Headline sponsored by Big Edge Financial.
The different phases in life, we move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping, the new job started, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, record dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
Take advantage of NCCU's Momentum Loan and get the support you need for whatever stage you are in life with a tiered interest rate and exclusive emergency fund component. Let NCCU's Momentum hook you up. Call 255-2126. Email membercare@nccudominica.com or visit any NCCU location for more details. Your phase, your pace, always so. We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stocked supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meat prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the different environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop.
You know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Topper Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in
The
Dominica.
romance begins from the very first sip. Treasure the rare, inviting richness found in our light wooden notes with a hint of vanilla. This rum is aged in individually selected oak bourbon barrels to guarantee a superb mellow taste with notes of dried tropical fruits, exhilarating the palate. Our unique aging process unlocks sweet, oaky notes with aromas of chocolate, toffee, and dried fruits. Hangers through a single barrel rum, distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Share the crunch this Christmas with KFC's festive feast. Only $55 gets you 5 pieces of chicken, 4 hot and humans, 2 regular fries, 2 biscuits, 2 16-ounce drinks. Win big with KFC's buckets of giving. A laptop, a smartphone, $1,000 cash prize, $200 US Amazon gift card, and so much more. Purchase the festive feast bucket in the store at the drive-thru or on delivery and write your name and number on the back of your receipt. Terms and conditions apply. KFC, it's finger licking good.
We want to greet all the people of Dominica. Everyone, regardless where you are right now, we want to say have a beautiful day.
And Nacho is a reggae artist, one of Dominica's best. And today he's going to tell us why he chose to stand, why he chose to be here this morning. So we are going to just give him an opportunity to tell us all about his standing up.
Yeah, well, the situation here is we are here in the wash. Like the cameras can pick up the damages that they have been doing to our country. They're destroying the rivers. They are planning to finish up the mountains. We have foreigners here. We have CR5 Chinese company. We have the, what them call it, MMC. And everybody's aim is to destroy. God destroy, me see them a destroy, because he's not have no development. Again, it's just pure destruction. I am calling on the government of Dominica. Every one of you need to understand that this thing has to stop. We need to stop it right now. And Dominicans, you need to stand up. And you have to stand up for your country. We don't ask you to stand up for politics. We don't ask you to stand up for church. We don't ask you to stand up for anything. We're asking you to stand up for your country. It gave us water, food, air, peace, the animals of the forest and the fishes of the river. Now we're gonna stand there and let people destroy it? Isn't that what we plan to do?
So those of you joining me now, this is the site that is being used to get materials for the construction of our international airport. In recent times, we have seen conferences, we have seen forums where folks are saying that they need this project to be stopped. On Thursday, we had a tour with the Prime Minister of Dominica, and he stated that this is the area that they can get the best, materials to construct the international airport. And now, Mr. Fontaine, you are saying that you need this project to stop.
Listen to me. They can say this is the place where them get the best material. We say this is the place we have the best rivers, our water tables. All right? If we have to destroy our country to build a friggin' airport, then it's not worth it. That is my opinion. And that is the opinion of many Dominicans. May I say, right now we have Dr. Pascal standing here, my wife Helen, and we thank you guys came through. We need to stand up, and we're going to stand up. I want every government member and minister to know that we're here, brother. We have a right to speak. We have a right to stand. We have a right to protest. Because this is a shame to see that people would have voted to destroy a mountain that shelters our rivers. And the people downstream are screaming out, the rivers are eating them. The rivers is dirty, silt and everything. Fish is perishing. What we going to do? Stand up? Talk? Go on radio every day? People, you got to stand up. You must stand up. It is your time to stand up. Regardless what, you have been sitting down for too long. This is Nasir Fontaine talking to you.
Nasir, some persons who are watching the live may say, oh, where were you all the time? Why now?
You see, my sister, watch me. I never stand up for politics, regardless, red or blue. We standing for the cause of Dominica. Because me could have lived anywhere else overseas. I choose to live here because that's where I love. That's where I get all my natural food. So I left all the politics run, But now we are looking at it and seeing that these people think them can just crush the country and do whatever they want. Because I'm not afraid to voice my opinion, Because you can kill me when I finish, I have no problem with that, I am saying that we should not sit down and let this thing happen. Look, pan your cameras and show the world what is going down right here. You think we should have to suffer like this? You think this is the way it should go? And nobody asked the people of Dominica permission? They didn't ask anybody permission? Not forestry, not housing, not anyone? And there is a law. It's illegal. This is totally illegal. Anyone come challenge me right now. It's illegal. And we're saying, if we have to pay with our lives, we will do it because we cannot afford to continue this.
The voice of Nasir Fontaine. Standing, and of course it will continue tomorrow. 1 or 2 persons have pledged, to give support. And no number of persons, be one could give support but can't get there. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes. Are you there? Hello.
Hello, Matt. Hello, Matt.
How are you, sir? How are you?
Matt, I am fine. This is good in the air, Matt.
Yes, I heard you. What's up?
Matt, I'm calling to say that the Prime Minister Roosevelt Kerry said something this afternoon on the radio. And this man is telling lies. He's lying to the Dominican public. I can say it. Matt, remember, I used to have a license to mine in Dominica.
I remember that.
I'm a legal miner in Dominica by name. And Matt, I did research on materials, the minerals that is in Dominica, around the island, from Portsmouth to Petit Savant. And I can tell you, stones, good material. You know, you talk about density, go to Petit Savant and you'll talk density. Matt, I spoke with a number of engineers from around the world. You remember when they did the stadium, Matt? The material they had to use in the stadium had to be tested because they were going to bring in material from way out of Dominica, some country way out of Dominica, to bring material to the best quality. And when we send our material to the lab in Florida, they send back the test results that the material we were producing in Dominica was one of the best material in the region. Not people from Miami came down to Dominica to make business, to buy material. You see the same stones we're talking about there? They want the stones, you know. But their problem is the way the government operating. And that is one of the problems. Matt, let me tell you, what this man said here this afternoon about stones, Guadeloupe, they build the international airport. Matt, find out how many badges of stone that came from Gadakan, West Coast, and P.H. Williams. You remember P.H. Williams is one of the #1 miners in Dominica. Gadakan, and we had one in Bulu. Matt, let me tell you something. This man lying through his teeth to come and tell people. I know about the material in the Moshino because there was a company called Beaver and a company called Lacolas that took stones on the outside of that same area for Melvin Hall because at the time it was much cheaper to move material. But you know one of the problems? They talk about barging material to the north. That is one of the biggest lies that they put in place in order that they could beef up the cost for them to steal that money. And now they're trying to look for some other mineral in the north area and telling you that it's stones and the best quality. Ask him which is the engineer. Call them in and tell you to which department they work in the region. And you will find out if it's not lies they tell him. Matt, the Dominican people, if we want to live in Dominica for our great-grands and our grandchildren and for the future to come, just like Nacio said, we have to stand up. And we have to stand up now. And Dominicans, let's say day after day, what we want is that quarrying in Big Wash to stop. We have to see it stop, and we will move on to what next. Because Dominica have a lot of more materials, different places. But it's just wicked, and they want to keep the money. Matt, you know how much money that this airport said that they were going to use to build the airport? You know what it was at the first value? Let Lennox tell you. Because Lennox have it figure by figure. But you know how many billions of dollars of Dominica that is unaccounted for? And the man is coming to people as if it's hungry, we're hungry. And we must go and take all what we have that our parents live for us and our grandparents live for us to mortgage for us to survive. Dominicans, now is our time. Let us stand up. If we don't stand up now, we will regret. You hear like how he's saying, he says, the future, history will not have a place for us. If we don't stand, history going to mash us up as Dominicans. Today, I stand in. I want them to know, let us put our boots down, our foot down, our knee play, and stand up for Dominica and for the future.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Now, I'm sure this video of Emo has gone viral, and if you haven't, share it, huh? Dominicans are standing, and they will continue to do so. I'm trying to get in touch with Dr. IP at this point, because he's still up there, and I suspect they're not going to move right now. And it'll be back tomorrow. Let's see if I can get in touch with Dr. IP at this time.
Even when my brother's heavy to carry, sorrows become my best friend. Let no one let me be. Even when 10,000 falls themselves against side, fools say that my chances are slim. Here to my hopes are so high. Feeling the positive, and I know good. We conquer evil. Cherish your amidst the battle, and I know love will overcome it. Wonder, living in the positive. Watch it. Let not your hearts be troubled. Wipe away your tears and fears, 'cause I know love will conquer evil. Living in the positive.
Nasir Fontaine standing for Debouche. Hello, talk to me. Yes,
Matt, where the story about importing materials from Canada emerged from now?
I think somebody mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I think can't remember the exact expert, but said that if you know, because I think no, it came from this university professor from Jamaica. He was basically saying, when Jamaica needed some material, they imported it from Canada. That's where it came from. That's where it came from. He was talking about Jamaica.
That's what I'm saying. So why it is being inserted in that narrative, in our story? That was Jamaica and the predicament.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you see how that boy is so deceptively dangerous, Matt. We're not, Matt, we have too much. You hear a man that was in mining, Mr. Walsh, Matt, and tell you about testing material and what, and we have some of the best material and all of that. A man has not an inch of knowledge of geology having to do with being a soil scientist and all of that. Spirit. He come in there with words from his mouth, Matt, which, like defending a desecration of a country where you have no scientific expertise to back him up. He's just saying, I believe the road lasts longer. What are the contexts in which this road lasts longer? I just heard you, Matt, talking about where the traffic may be less for decades and where the traffic is endless and why road lasts a bit longer and all of that. So, Matt, I am saying, Matt, if people of influence, you see Dr. Pascal up there, you see Joshua find himself there, Nazio, Matt, there are other people of influence that can hire some coasters, Matt, even if it's some kind of coercion, get a couple hundreds of young people, let us go up there. And Matt, if I have transportation to go and come back, I'll be there too. What you think, Matt, where I am there on crutches? You seen me, Rosa? You don't see me on two crutches, Matt?
Of course I see you.
So I'm supposed to find my way in the wash.
Well, I'm saying if somebody's going and they want to take you along, I think you'd welcome that, right?
What's up?
I'm saying if somebody is going there they're willing to take you, will go. I know you'll go.
Blessings. Meet me in Kenfield. I can leave Layu and go Kenfield and wait for the person.
That's true.
But for me to leave Layu, go Roseau and looking for transport to go the wash like I did. I do enough. I do a lot. I'm still willing to do, but I'm saying not everything. I'm result oriented. Things have to be structured for maximum results and we need to shut that damn country down, Mark. Thank you.
No. Okay, Dominica. Well, if you go in there sometime tomorrow, and I'm trying to get my, a few people have been texting me trying to, get some results in terms of buses and trying to pledge some. I want to remain anonymous, some of them.
Yeah.
To, of course, support the people who want to get there. I think it'll be on for the week from what I gather from NASIO. But I think government officials maybe, from my information, maybe going there tomorrow or one of these days in the week. We'll be monitoring and give you more updates as they become available. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark. How you doing, my brother?
How you doing? Hey, Brian, long time. How you doing?
Happy New Year to you, my brother.
Same here.
Mark, you see what Dr. Pascal and NASIO is doing right now?
Right.
That is excellent. That is exactly what has to be done. But Matt, as Blessings indicated, they're not enough. All Dominicans supposed to make an effort to be up there. Those who can sponsor coasters, sponsor a coaster, sponsor a bus, go up there. Work with your tent and so on so that we can even talk about camping out up there. Because I suspect, talking to Dr. Pascal and them on the phone, Matt, I suspect that's the plan, that they're going to stay there until they get results. Because, Matt, I do not believe that Mr. Skerrit is in support of Chinese destroying our natural resources. Do you believe that, Matt?
No.
Do you believe that? Exactly, Matt. And I believe that Mr. Skerrit is in a bind. Mr. Skerrit is unable to tell the Chinese no when the Chinese want to do whatever they want to do in Dominica. He's helpless, Matt. So I believe as Dominicans, as good citizens, although we've been hearing all day, this is not a political thing, and I agree with that. This is not about blue or red. This is about Dominicans. But I want to make a special appeal to my labor rights friends to help the Prime Minister. Mr. Skerrit is in need of help now because Mr. Skerrit wants to tell the Chinese no to that quarry, to that mining site in Debuash. But he cannot tell the Chinese no. Mr. Skerrit is depending on you, labor rights supporters, you, the people of Dominica, to protest, to physically stop that operation up there. Okay? Because Mr. Skerrit is not pleased with that. Mr. Skerrit expects our country to be preserved for his children to enjoy the rivers of there. Mr. Skerrit would like his children, his little son, his little daughter, to come and bathe in the Puebla River, to drink the water, to pick up the VO, and so on, and to fish, eat the mullet from the river. That Mr. Skerrit wants those things for his children. But based on the deal that he went in with the Chinese, he's unable to tell them no to anything they want to do in Dominica, Matt. Matt, this MMC that we are hearing about, that's just this smoke screen, you know. Matt, by the way, did I hear on one of your programs recently that the Chinese are the ones responsible for financing the airport now, Matt?
I heard that, something like that, yes.
Yeah, but Matt, when I heard that, because I was listening to you, no, Matt, when I heard that, Matt, I said, but some time back, Matt had the same Chinese ambassador explaining to Dominicans that they do not finance international airports. How come all of a sudden the Chinese are financing that airport? They take over the financing from MMC. MMC is not in the picture again. So that is why, Matt, especially with respect to that mining operation that is happening in Debuash, where they're looking for gold and copper, Matt, that is not, MMC doesn't have much to do with that. MMC is just the smoke screen, Matt. That is all Chinese written all over it, Matt. And the Prime Minister, Mr. Skerrit, is unable to deal with the Chinese. So the people of Dominica need to help out Mr. Skerrit, and they need to turn out on that site in large numbers. People of Marigot, Concord, Woodford, Calibishi, Wesley, turn out there in large numbers. Roseau, Grand Bay, come out in large numbers. Come and help your Prime Minister to deal with the Chinese, because the Chinese are doing something in Dominica right now. in that Deboash area that Mr. Skerrit is not pleased with, but he cannot tell them no. So he's depending on you, labor rights in particular, to help him out now. Join the protest. Matt, you notice there's no police presence up there, Matt, and we are grateful for that, Matt. That is because Mr. Skerrit wants to ensure that the environment is conducive, it's not threatening. So as many of his labor rights people...
But you would agree, Brian, that the world is watching right now. Everything that happens in Dominica, the world is paying much more attention than it is.
yes, Matt. You're very right.
So bringing the police there would just aggravate the situation then.
No, Matt, exactly. And that too is playing to the benefit of Mr. Skerrit, because Matt, remember, Mr. Skerrit, we cannot believe that Mr. Skerrit, Roosevelt Skerrit, our beloved Prime Minister with dimples, would allow the Chinese to destroy our ecosystem like they're doing right now. That is not, it's like they have a gun to Mr. Skerrit's head, the Chinese have a gun to his head, forcing him to do things that he would otherwise not do. So that is why we, the people now, have to come and help our dimpled Prime Minister and go out there in large numbers and start to continue, join the protest with Nasir and Dr. Pascal to stop this project. Matt, that is the only way that project can be stopped, Matt. Already it has been started and it's well on the way without the ESIA already, which is something that needed to be done before it started. So there is not even Mr. Skerrit can stop that project. The only way that project can be...
So Brian, will you be joining IP and Nasir tomorrow?
Of course not. Not IP that bailed me, Remember they have me in court trying to hang me? IP, my brother, that bailed me, Matt. You remember that, Matt?
Yes, I remember.
Yes. So I must go and meet him, among other reasons, Matt. I was going there otherwise, but especially up there, I have to go and meet him. He that bailed me. If he wasn't for him, I'd be out in jail, waiting trial. Matt, and I have to go to the court on the 16th of this month to face treason trial. IP that bailed me. Have a blessed day, my brother.
Have a blessed day. Mother Earth is crying, Baron.
In the beginning, by the sixth day morning, the whole creation was given good. And then God made man and give him dominion over every living creature on the earth. Tragedy in the garden, we all know it happened. Shamefully banished from Eden. We witness the paradise lost, and then his mother who ends up paying the cost. That's what we do. Mother Earth is crying. He said there's nothing people do. Mother Earth is dying. We got to stop people do. Priorities rearranged. We got to become more competent. The way we protect the environment and fight for all that is good. Fight to save Mother Earth. Mother Earth. In case you don't know, the planet is dying slow. What a sad way to go.
I will go back to the telephone, 258. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes?
Not what a misery. Trump have carried by his dead neck. Chinese having by his foot. Anyway, I'm saying this senior citizen want to go, but I need transportation.
Okay. Once it become available, I'll let you know. Okay, Lucille? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I wrote that poster right to self-destruction. Stop mankind from beginning.
I know people have already sent in their pledging to give support. So we'll find out, and I'm sure I'll let you know. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon, good afternoon.
My brother, how you doing? How you doing?
My Dominican people,
Yes.
let's save that Peak Mountain. Top it up. Let's save that mountain. That mountain have copper and gold. Let us don't destroy that area. We've been troubled. Praise God, let's fight to save this country. One man get hurt, to stop immediately. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm getting some information then. I said to you, government may be there tomorrow. It's a good time to stand up and show them your disgust from a reliable source, huh? The government will be there tomorrow. Let's see what happens.
In case you don't know, the planet is dying.
I'll give you more information as it relates to whether, we're getting some support or you getting some support to get there.
Massive global warning with the sea level rising, islands and countries like Holland will be no more.
Hello, talk to me, yes?
Man,
Yes.
where the priest? He didn't know anything about the river? Coffee.
Father Coffee,
There's my father. There's my father.
I haven't heard.
Where is he?
I
He's selective?
haven't heard him. I haven't heard him. No, I haven't. Heard.
He's selective. He's one of them.
All right.
Wicked.
Well, I don't know that. I can't make that accusation. Father Coffee, people are asking you to speak because you always speak for the Reavers.
We can't take no more, no more. Mother Earth is crying. You say stop people looking. Mother Earth is dying. You say stop people looking. Whole attitude got to change. Priorities rearrange. We got to become more competent. The way we protect the environment.
Hello, yes,
Yes, man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Very interesting program, very interesting trip. I listened to the Prime Minister and he's giving the impression that for the whole of Dominica, that is the only place that have the whole of the required density, to build at international. And that doesn't make no sense, absolutely no sense at all. He likes this kind of psychology tactics come talking about Russian Tompkins and Sintra and whatever. If you go back, Mr. Scott was a little child when Russian Tompkins and these people were being you was a teenage still. Okay? When Russian Tompkins was
A teenager, yes, that's still, yes.
He was a teenager still. Okay? I am 64 years of age. I know about the Russian Tompkins and these people, and that's not the only place that they were getting stones from to build that airport. So he's not telling the truth. He's always distant from the truth. But he needs to understand that people are not going to take this nonsense forever. They're not going to still lie down forever and allow him. Well, I wouldn't say he was elected by the people, because if he was elected by the people, we'd be listening to them. He figures he just rush his way, buy his way, get his way, so he wants to do what he wants. And it's time for this nonsense to stop. I need you to, before you need to play that song for the people. We will no longer, UB40, we will no longer hear your command. We will seize the control from your hand. We will fight for our right to be free from you and the Chinese. Thank you very much.
What a savage you are. Beyond only as depleting, endless factories belching tons of pollutants in the atmosphere. Rivers and seas can't escape from Mother Earth. We constantly commiserate. We're even planning to strip the Amazon bare. Acid rain on the nations, haunted to extinction. A roller coaster ride to self-destruction. Stop mankind from digging a certain grave. We got to get together. It's Mother Earth we must save. That's why we're there. Mother Earth is crying. We say the people you can do. Mother Earth is dying. We got to stop the people living. Full attitude, got to change. And priorities rearrange. We got to become more competent. The way we protect the environment and fight. Fight for all that is good. Fight to save the world. In case you don't know, the planet is dying slow. What a sad way to go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
305 Zombic. I'm going to wrap it up here. If I get more information, get into Day Punch tomorrow, I'll, of course, provide you that. Huh? But in the meantime, in between time, it's we're here and we're out. Huh? Very interesting program. I'll get in touch with Mr. Dr. I.P. Nasio and give you more information.
Beginning, by the sixth day morning, the whole of creation was given birth. And then God made man and give him dominion over every living creature on the earth. Tragedy in the garden, we all know it happened. Shamefully banished from Eden. We witness the paradise lost. And since then his mother earth who ends up paying the cost. That's what we do. Mother Earth is crying. He said there's nothing people can do. Mother Earth is dying. We got to stop the people living. All I can do got to change. Priorities rearrange. We got to become more competent. The way we protect the environment and fight for all that is good. Fight to save Mother Earth. Mother Earth crying. In case you don't know, the planet is dying slow. What a sad way to go. Yeah. Beyond only as depleting, endless factories belching tons of pollutants in the atmosphere. Rivers and seas can't escape from Mother Earth. We constantly commiserate. We're even planning to strip the Amazon bare. Acid rain on the nations, haunted to extinction. A roller coaster ride to self-destruction. Stop mankind from digging a certain grave. We got to get together. It's Mother Earth we must save. That's why we're there. Mother Earth is crying. We say there's nothing people you can do. Mother Earth is is dying. We got to fuck people living. Full attitude, got to change. And priorities rearrange. We got to become a